Now, if you take this, it still doesn't feel like a book to me. Now Amala picked something out of Jnana Yoga because she is a Jnana person. Now he picked something which he thinks is very contradictory. Somebody else will naturally pick up something from the bhakti that he is talking about. If you open the pages of bhakti or devotion that Krishna is talking about, he will sound very similar to Jesus. If you open the other pages, this is a completely different man. If you want, you just pick those Bhakti Yoga pages and read, he will sound very much like Jesus. But you pick the other pages and see, he is a totally different man altogether. Another thing we need to understand is Jesus is hugely handicapped because of the kind of situation in which he is existing. He has no real freedom of speech. He mostly lived like a fugitive, here and there speaking to small groups of people. The moment he picked up little momentum, you know what they did to him. Krishna did not live in such a condition. He has an army behind him. All his friends are kings and emperors. He can speak what he wants. It's very different. Jesus is a fugitive. If he says one word more, his life is finished, and it happened that way. Krishna is not a fugitive. He's a kingmaker. Every king around owes something to him. He can call upon large armies to fulfill his purpose. So he's placed in a completely different situation. When it comes to approaching the eternal, Jesus is just talking about the yoga of devotion, nothing else. Because one thing, that's his way. He's unidimensional. He's just talking about one dimension of approaching the ultimate. He's just saying, just follow me, it'll happen. It is devotion. Krishna is also saying the same things. He's saying, I am the way. I think Jesus said something like, you can only know my Father through me. But I think he went further somewhere else and said, me and my Father are one. But in that part of the world, uttering such a thing was total sacrilege. Anybody claiming that me and my Father are one means that I am God. Such a claim will immediately bring death penalty in that part of the world. But here it was not so, because any number of yogis have said it. And people treated them as gods because they experienced the divine in them. They really treated them as gods, they worshipped them as gods. So that was not a new issue in India. When Krishna said, I am the ultimate divine, people were not surprised or shocked, or it was not a sacrilege, because that was very much a part of people's knowing. They were very happy he has come when they are alive. Any number of yogis have said this, well-known ones and very minor ones. When I say minor, in terms of knowing, social acknowledgement. They're great people within themselves. But socially, in the world, they're very small people. Even those people have been worshipped as gods. You will see if you know Indian culture, if you go to villages, there'll be one little yogi there, only that village knows about him. They worship him as God with regular form of worship as they would do it in a temple. Any number of yogis have such worship. So it was not new for him to claim, I am God. But for Jesus, it was totally out of place in that culture. He is saying, me and my Father are one, is very… brought him death. Any number of times people try to kill Krishna, but he is willing. But they try to kill him not for these utterances, they try to kill him for political and military reasons because he was involved in those affairs. Nobody ever tried to kill him because of what teaching he gave. They only tried to kill him for political and military reasons.